Next, I'm going to introduce a new thing we do in some of our shouts together, a new little segment. I'm going to call it Practical Magic for the Modern Merlin. Yeah. We talk a lot. I talk a lot. We're going to start getting into it, actually doing it. So, I don't. We don't have any drum roll music. Let's just oh, there we go. Practice now, and maybe you could do a little video thing for before our next session. But practice. You got 2 months. Calder's telling me. Practical magic for the modern Merlin. Yes. So. This is, by the way, this is a wand, a magic wand. And you can buy one now before midnight for just $595 and free shipping. And it's magical. And it's total distraction. It's a nice stage prop for me. And it looks so good. That's time for your shot crash.
Close your mouth.
Yeah, like that. Total distraction. It's just a piece of wood. It's pretty. It's nice. But this little piece of wood is a distraction so that you're looking over here and you're not really, you're letting things come in. You're looking over here. Every one of you should probably have one. But recognize total distraction. It's time to really allow energy to work for you. And in order to do so, I feel it's important for you, the human, to have a trigger. You think about it sometimes. You've heard me say the words, energy serving you. You think about it, but now I want you to start doing it. Coming up with, first, a trigger. A trigger is either like a body gesture like that, something unique though, not something just everybody does. Something that you can really, people think you're weird if you go around doing that, but something that is unique to you, meaningful to you, you have to do consciously. You have to really stop for a moment and do the thing. And again, all the time you can have your magic wand over here, but it's just a piece of beautiful wood. An energy trigger is when you say, energy, I command you to serve me. I command you to serve me. That's it. Or energy, serve me, if you don't like the word command. That's what it's all about. Energy is always here, and it's always serving you. That is true. It's not like it hasn't been here, but what happens is typically in a tight situation, the human's energy center, their energy sphincter, tightens up. You're in a tough situation, and what happens? You squeeze in. You restrict the flow of energy at a time when you should be open to energy. Suddenly, what's a good example? You're walking along the floor, you're out of your body as you are most of the time, you slip and fall, and as you're taking that tumble, it's like slow motion. Some of you have been there, like slow motion. And you're like, oh, shit. and what happens is your energy sphincter tightens up, and I'm getting all this from you today, sorry. You bring in that toilet headband. It's like a faucet. Suddenly you turn the faucet nearly off. You restrict the flow of energy at the very time you should be opening it up. That's the way of the Merlin. And the Merlin, no matter what situation Merlin is confronted with, Merlin stops for a moment, does their trigger, whatever that happens to be. It could be a word, it could be a body gesture. Even if it's right in the moment of imminent danger, or high stress, or a situation where you feel might be insurmountable, that's when you stop and you do the trigger. And you open to the energy rather than close to the energy. This is very, very important also to understand there is no agenda in it. When you do the trigger, it's not about saying, here's what I want for the outcome. The outcome of whatever happens is going to be perfect, and it always is. Maybe not in what the old human thought it should be, but it is going to be perfect. But when you're restricting the flow almost down to just a drip, drip, drip of energy, you're not going to get the full benefit of the magic of the experience and of the unfolding that comes with it. Think back into your life, situations that have come along. And it might have been physical, might have been financial, or emotional. In those situations, you generally bring in your energy, close it down, or you close yourself to that energy. You turn down the faucet. You restrict the natural flow of energy. And that's what's really the problem. It's not the situation that you're in. Magical things happen. You could be right within a second of a car accident, hitting somebody. And what you've been doing is closing down. It's like, oh crap. That's the time to open up. And that's when the magic happens, because then it can serve you. Basically, what you've been doing is saying to the energy, well, I don't want any more, no energy, or your mind has been saying, here's the outcome I want, and the energy ain't going that way. And in this case, it's like, open up and allow the energy to serve you in that moment. It doesn't have to be only at times of impending disaster or conflict or anything else. As a matter of fact, this is something you should consciously do 10, 20 times a day until you get so familiar with it. It's like allowing, you're opening up. The only thing that's been between you and the real magic has been the limitation or the restriction of energy. That's it. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or that you're not worthy or you're not magical. This is just a stick, but it's a great distraction. It's not because of that. It's because in difficult cases, you restrict the energy and you bring it right to there rather than being in your energy. You stop yourself. Triggers.
Right to there is where?
Right to there is I am. That's it. It's just, you don't even have to think about it. It's just me. I am. Instead of just thinking about it, instead of closing down. So a trigger could be a physical gesture that you make, but something unique. Like it could be clicking of the fingers. It could be creative. Come up with something that's not just common with everybody. Or a word. Not a word that's currently in use. Make up a word. I do it all the time. I love it. I'll make up all sorts of words. You know, why not? Because if the word is currently in usage, there's an energy associated with it, and it takes away the full expression. Come up with a word. And Shazam ain't the word, because everybody uses Shazam. Come up with a word that, and you don't have to just, again, feel into it. It'll come to you, whether it's a word or like a trigger mechanism with, hitting your knee or something like that. Something that reminds you it's time to open, not to close. That is Magic 101. Never, ever, 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 ever use it on another person. It's you and your energy. Never have an agenda or what you think should be the outcome. We'll only do that at graduate level. Right now, it's this simple. You open rather than close. You allow rather than restrict. At all times, remember, energy is your friend. It's there to serve you, and it's your energy. You spend eons of time playing the opposite game, but the natural fact is energy is yours, and it is your friend. It's never wanted to harm you or never wanted to hurt you. Never wanted to appear to be separate. But that's a game you played and it went along. Now open up to energy. Come up with a word, come up with a body motion, a trigger that is yours, but never ever use it on another person. It's not that I'm going to come after you, but that same energy will, whether you use it in love and compassion or whether you use it in hatred and anger against somebody, that's where you start getting into trouble. That's where you've gotten in trouble in the past. That's why you've closed down and held back. That's why I say stop trying to save the planet, because that's out of compassion and the planet is going to mess with you. Use it as your energy without even trying to have a desired outcome, and then watch the magic happen. The moment you desire an outcome, the moment that you're setting an agenda, you are limiting energy by its very nature. And then you're going to go mental. When you simply allow it to be and allow whatever comes with your energy, it's not God's energy, it's not the planet's energy, it's not anybody's energy. The moment you allow your energy to be, you're going to discover what true magic really is. You're going to discover then how you can be in the midst of the chaos of the world, and it simply doesn't affect you. I'm being asked by several here watching online, should we share it with others? I wouldn't. Why? What are you trying to trigger each other? My word, my body action is better than yours. Not that it's a big secret, but it's yours. Stop playing the game. Stop having to go out on social media, and some of you are already doing it, and say, oh, here's what I just came up with, or I knew this 5 years ago. And it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Jeez. So, your own trigger. It's yours. It's personal. Body motion, a word, something, and start getting used to it. Whether you're in the middle of a tough situation, whether you're just driving down the street, that word, that action, that trigger will have a conscious effect. You'll start remembering, that's right, I open to energy, I don't close to it. You're in a bad situation, you went to the grocery store and suddenly you're at the checkout line, you realize, oh, stupid me, I forgot my wallet today. That's the time, trigger. Now, if you expect your wallet to appear, you're doing it wrong. But follow the magic that happens from that moment. If you are expecting, oh, I have to do my Shazam thing because I forgot my wallet and then it's suddenly going to be there, you've just failed because you're not allowing the energy to serve you. You have a desired outcome that's often limited by the human agenda, and that blocks out the magic. Watch what happens if you just do your trigger, and knowing that you're in an embarrassing situation, there's 20 people in line looking at you with great disgust, and you're fumbling around trying to find your wallet. Let that be the entry point for real magic to happen. It is amazing. Suddenly you get sick. Suddenly you come down with a bad flu. Come back to your trigger, and not to try to make yourself healthy. Not to try to say, I need to get over this flu because I have an important meeting in tomorrow. Not at all. Open to the energies rather than restrict the energies, and watch the magic that happens. And it's so simple, it's so beautiful. It's so magic 101. It's amazing. And this is just a prop. This is just a distraction. So if a bunch of you go out and get this, I'm going to even ask Caldra to post online where he got this. It's just a distraction. Humans need to see that sometimes. They can't possibly imagine that you by yourself can really be the magician, but you give you a little piece of wood to hold in your hand and suddenly you're God. So whether you do it now, whether you do it later, your trigger. And you're gonna start to realize too, how much you've been closing down, you've been restricting at times when you should have been opening up. You just get a notice from the government, they're going to audit your taxes. You close down. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to deal with it. Last thing in the world, is that you want more energy, even though you're saying, God, I need money, I need something, help me. No, you close down. Watch what happens now. use your trigger, the trigger that says, I open to my energy. Not the government's energy, not to the authorities are going to come and haul you off or anything like that, but to your own. This is where the real magic begins. And again, never, ever use it on another person, ever. You've gotten too much trouble for that in the past, caused too many heartaches along the way. It is for you only, without agenda. Does that make sense? You're not using it to save the world, because what's going to happen, here you are opening to more energy, and suddenly you're out of compassion for the rest of the world. Oh boy, you're going to feel the effects of it. It is for you only. Okay, I think we're pretty clear on that. Let's take a good deep breath. Good deep breath with that. Come up with a trigger, a word, a unique word, a word that's unique to you. A unique word, body movement, whatever it is that reminds you, I open to my energy. And then let the magic begin. No agenda. No figuring it out. Just open up. That's it. Open the valve rather than close it. Okay. I know there'll be questions on this, but for right now, just figure your own trigger and start using it. Start feeling into it 10, 20 times a day, just to get used to it, to realize, oh, this is my mechanism for opening the energies. Next, in our last session, I came up with this little thing called practical magic for the modern Merlin. Real basic, simple things, real easy things. Well, what was it last time we talked about, last shout? What was the practical magic thing? Stay open to the energy, yeah. And even, there's an imminent car crash, or you see a jar coming off the shelf and it's going to hit you on the head. Whatever it happens to be, or you're just about to get in a fight with your spouse, or whatever it happens to be. There's a tendency to bring it in, to close down energy. It's like turning off a faucet. You want to slow down the volume of water coming out. Not. It's exactly the opposite. That's when you take a deep breath with your trigger word, if you have one, or a trigger thought, whatever it is. You stop for a moment and you open up. I mean, it's kind of weird because you think, why should I be opening up at this time of what could be a real disaster? That's the magic. Because suddenly you're opening to energy. You're allowing more probabilities and possibilities and potentials than ever before. That's when magic occurs. That's when it occurs. Today's practical magic from modern Merlins is very simple. We've talked about it before, but I wanted to go on record in the history books, is that 100% of the energy that you encounter is yours. There is no outside energy whatsoever. To me, it's so simple, so obvious. I mean, but yet, feel into humanity, other people you know. They're going somewhere else for their energy. They may not call it energy. They may call it a paycheck or emotional support. They may call it whatever. They're going somewhere else, including places like God. God doesn't have any energy. I mean, if you went and begged God, you get down on your hands and knees and you prayed, could I have some energy? God is like, I don't have any. I don't have any. I'm all consciousness. What are you talking about? I'm not energy. It's all yours, every bit of it. Once you understand that there is nothing on the outside, and it's kind of, again, one of those weird things. You're like, yeah, but that the tree out there, that's not my energy. It is. It is. It's all your energy. There's actually really no tree out there. There's no tree. It's all your energy. What you are seeing right here, my dear friends, is your energy. That's it. We play a great big game in this, that energy's on the outside. Somehow you have to go out there to get it. We play a great big game that even I'm an outside energy called Adamus Saint-Germain. Yeah, it's your energy. Kind of freaks the mind out. The mind's like, well, no, I don't know. Let me touch you. No, you're not. It's your energy. It's all your perception. And I say it's your energy. You could also substitute the word perception. It's basically the same thing. Energy is just a way of perceiving. Energy is a song, it's a communication, it's a way to perceive and experience. So, modern or practical magic for the modern Merlin, suddenly understanding it's my energy there, all mine. Humans like to blame other people and like to think that everything's outside of them and that they ain't got shit, that they have very, very little and they have no control. That is a game. That is a bad game, but it's a game. And for the modern Merlins, you realize, no, it's all my energy, my perception. I don't need to get it. I don't need energy from any place else. I don't need anybody's approval on anything. It's all mine. Then the fun begins. Because you realize it's not about a lot of outside forces invading and attacking you and trying to take your little bit of your nuts that you squirreled away for the winter. And it's like, hell, hang on a second. Those are all my nuts. And the invaders are all me. And it's like, wow, what a great game. Then you start to have fun. It's mind-boggling. Because the mind is like, no, it couldn't be because I see other people. And it's like, actually, no, you really don't. There is a sense of perception that there's other souled beings. You're perceiving their consciousness, but it's your energy through which you perceive them. In other words, you're not really perceiving them. You're not really, it's not their energy. It's your perception. It's your big TV show or movie about them. They're kind of like, imagine that energy is a great big cloud, a mist, but it's all yours. There is a person on the other, a souled being on the other side of the mist that you perceive from soul being to soul being. But the energy between you and them is all you. And you're just perceiving them through your own energy fog or goggles or whatever. But it's all your energy. That's so simple, but yet the mind is going to resist it and rebel against it and try to overly philosophize it. Could you just take a moment without getting all head crapped and just take a moment and realize it's all my energy. And it's all here to serve me. And I have the maturity never to let it harm me, nor does it have an intent to harm me. But it's all mine, and it's here to serve me. That's amazing. That's, again, when the magic begins, because suddenly the energy doesn't have to play this game. Here's the energy like, oh, for Christ's sakes, once again, Billy gets up in the morning and he's playing this game that I'm outside of him. And so we got to go along with it because that's what soul being is doing. And that's what the human is doing. So we got to play this game. Imagine how relieved energy will be when you finally say, damn, this is all mine. It's my way of perceiving and experiencing reality. It's all mine. That's when the magic begins. That's when you realize there's no outside forces. There's nobody trying to take your energy. There's really not. There's no bigger energies. There's no boogeymen energies. There's none of that. It's all your own. When you start realizing that, the magic really starts happening. Then you can joyfully allow it to serve you. And you're not going to harm yourself. That's the other big thing. You're not going to harm yourself. You will not. You test yourself. I know that. You're going to test yourself in this and say, am I really ready and can I really do this? Go ahead and play test yourself, and then you're going to realize when you do that, damn, I do have the maturity, and this is all my energy. Let the fun begin. Well, let's take a deep breath and let's bring this all to a beautiful Merabh on this day. There's some music in the background. I know you're all waiting for your tacos, but there are priorities, I guess. But let's take a good deep breath on this beautiful day of our first shout in Passion 2020. You're writing history, and the very first question I asked is, should we start putting this together? Like 99 little sayings of the master. Not quite yet. We're getting there. We'll do it at the right time. We'll do it in a way that can never be perverted or distorted by anyone. But right now, what we're doing, let's really bring it to its purity. So whatever we put together eventually won't get too mental. Let's bring it to its purity. You're going to be the ones that are the standards for others. And you'll have a lot of assistance from the other side. A lot of assistance. They, like the entities that have worked with you, have been in human form before. So, let's take a good deep breath with that. Your real passion. I'm so delighted we're here in this series at this time. Your real passion. Now, some of you have been asking a lot lately, how come I'm not realized? When's it going to happen? As we talked about today, it's time to look at what you're still enjoying about not being or not realizing you realized. What are you still enjoying? And enjoying doesn't mean it's always pleasant, but you're still getting something out of it. What are you getting out of it? There's everything in the world, ranging from, well, I can't do it quite yet because my kids aren't out of college, to I got to clean up loose ends, to I don't really feel quite worthy yet. I got to do some more internal work. Some of you are waiting for the person next to you to do it first. I'll go after they go. A lot of reasons, and it's okay. As I said before, this isn't a rush. I actually want you to experience the hell out of this. I mean, it's the only time it's ever going to happen, ever in your life. But just recognize what it is and then have fun with it rather than fighting it. Maybe you just enjoy worrying all the time, and you enjoy just being on this amazing ride with other Shambra. Whatever it is, just acknowledge it. That's it. We talked today about that energy trigger. Magic 101. Open, don't close. That simple. But there's that tendency and that, well, lifetimes of training. When things get tough, close it up. Storms brewing on the horizon. Well, who in the right mind would open up to energy? No, you run and hide. And I use that metaphorically. Something coming into your life. Run and hide, close down, shut down, don't be seen. It's like, You see, this is, remember, Tobias used to talk about the point of separation. I'm going to call this the point of magic. What appears to be a storm is not a storm at all. So you open up rather than close down. Going through a tough patch right now with your partner. What do? You barricade yourself. You close, you turn down the spigot on energy. Shut down the faucet and then you cry that you're thirsty. Open it up. It's going to seem to be really counterintuitive at first. Why would you want to open up to more energy when energy is, well, it's been rough? Because this is the point of magic. Right there. No agenda. Don't tell the energy what to do. because it is responding to consciousness, not to thoughts. Do not tell the energy what to do, even though it's yours, because it is responding to consciousness, which is far more expansive than thoughts and far more true than any thought that your mind could ever have. So don't tell the energy what to do, just bring it in. And never, never, ever use it on somebody else. Not even your own kids, not even trying to send them a little zap of magic so that they'll graduate with good grades from college. As much as a loving parent as you might be, don't do it. It's only for you. Because the magic that you bring into their life will be a light that shines into theirs. You don't need to direct any magic or energy at them. As long as you are being, as long as you are the Merlin, you don't need to make any changes in their life. It's your light that will illuminate their magic. That's it. So come up with a trigger, something that reminds you that it's time to open up to your energy. When something tough happens, something that you just don't like in your life, you suddenly get lost in a strange city, driving around, you forgot your GPS device or whatever. Instead of tightening up, open up. But no agenda, no saying, well, I have to find my direction. No, there is something magical happening that got you lost in the first place, and now open rather than close. Come up with a word, a made-up word, not anything that is already out there. A made-up word or body gesture or something. Become so familiar with it, it's the constant reminder to the human, energy is my friend. I allow it. There'll come a point where you don't even have to use that word anymore, or that body trigger. You're just going to be open to energy, your energy. Where you can actually laugh about how you used to hold back at the very time where you should be opening up. Don't use it to try to make your business better or your health better. That's the human trying to direct. And that will stop the magic. Take a deep breath. You are Merlin. We're here in our time of passion now. At the time when the planet could use you more than ever. Interesting timing on all this, very interesting. Let's take a good deep breath, my dear friends, into the passion, into the realization, into your own realization. Good deep breath. We'll be, the crew will be off next month, apparently, but I'm going to be around. We may not have a shout, but you and I are going to be continuing doing all this together. We'll return to this very stage in 2 months from now. But in the meantime, be the Merlin. With that, my dear friends, all is well in all of creation. Thank you.